Plus, of course, a splash of sports as well. Now, here's your host, Tom.
Welcome back to Ocala Talks. On a Wednesday, Robert Colin from On Top of the World, he is in the studio with me right now as he does the first and third Wednesday. Better make sure his microphone's up because I don't want him to not be able to talk.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, Robert.
Oh,
good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
I thought about you yesterday. I was driving. My wife had me help her with some deliveries yesterday. She just shipped. Her company delivers Pathways Pharmaceuticals. And I had to go to 104th Terrace in On Top of the World. But my GPS told me to go out 110th. Took me down some sort of dirt roads and everything. Couldn't find it. Finally got the lady on the phone. She goes, yeah, I live in a new section. Yeah. Told me how to get there and everything. And I'm thinking as I'm driving, I drive by Shalom. I'm lost. I finally get in, find the house, and I go, Robert would laugh at me if he knew this story.
Yeah.
Because, and the lady, she's brand new. She just moved here. She's like, I only know the way to tell you to come off 99th. So you got to come all the way to 200, go to 99th. Then when I got to her house, I leave her house. Well, I just came out 90th right there and hit to 80th. And I knew how to get out very easy. But getting in, I didn't know. But now I know where she lives, so it's good now.
The great thing is you got to drive by at least two of our golf courses.
I did. I got to drive by two of them.
And that's why I brought Matt Hibbs in, because Matt's going to talk about our golf courses, but primarily our Ocala Open that's coming up in 2 weeks.
Yeah, March 29th is the Pro-Am, and then the 30th through April 1st.
3 weeks.
Yeah, it's about 3 weeks now.
So you know a lot about it because we were just talking about
I
it.
have to bring up the fact, though, before we get started, that congratulations, Matt.
Hey, I appreciate that.
You won the inaugural tournament to benefit dementia research and all, to help hospice and all, that I was a part of the committee on at Muni, and you won. You and your team came over from Candler Hills and won the tournament, beating my team.
We got lucky,
But we went to the scorecards. We had to go to the scorecards before you beat us. But congratulations on that.
Appreciate that.
And congratulations on, I think it's 16 or 17 years, I think, of the Ocala Open.
16th
That's
annual.
a good run.
Yeah, we've been able to raise $833,000 over those years for local charities. So, to your point, great run. We always look forward to it every year.
Talk about how important, even the competition and all is very important, but talk about how important it is to have the ability to give back to the community through charities, through this tournament.
Oh, that's mainly why we do it. I mean, every year, like I said, $833,000 in those 16 years is incredible. And, we keep the charities local. Being on top of the world, and the Hospice of Marion County being one of the beneficiaries, and Interfaith Emergency Services, it resonates with our residents. So it's a huge deal for the community as well as on top of the world.
Now, names that have come through this tournament you'd never heard of before. Names, I think some guy named Ted Potter has won it twice.
Yeah, two back to back.
He's a nobody. Nobody knows that name. I know that I think Keegan Bradley, who's a U.S. Open winner, PGA Championship winner.
Yeah.
He came through, I think, the very first tournament, but he's a nobody. He won a major. Who cares?
Yeah.
Matt Every, who played golf, I think, just up the road, didn't he?
Yeah.
35, 40 miles up the road at Gainesville. I think he's won Bay Hill twice.
Back-to-back years, I feel like.
But he's a nobody.
Man.
I mean,
it's a stepping stone for these kids.
I heard one of the greatest players to come through that tournament, a guy named Martin Musgrave. That's what I heard. That's what I heard.
Well, one of the biggest names that I remember coming through is actually Nick O'Hearn, if you remember that name. Left-handed golfer who, I can't remember the year, but he played Tiger Woods head-to-head in one of the World Match Play tournaments.
Right.
And I think he beat him in extra holes or something. He came and played one year and actually toted his own bag. So it was, crazy to see. I don't know. I think he made the cut. I don't know how well he did standing-wise. But to see some of these guys come through, to your point, and a lot of these guys you don't know yet until they come through. This is a stepping stone for them. And then
why do they
come
here?
It's great experience. One, they're trying to make a couple bucks to make that next step, or take that next step in their career. And, coming through Ocala, the winner wins $15,000. That's huge. That's huge for these kids. So, and your name gets out there and the PR and everything that comes along with it. So, it's...
What tour is this? What is it affiliated with that actually helps them?
It's the Florida Professional Golf Tour. Rick Hendershot is the director of the tour. He's been in business as long as I've been here in Ocala. And again, he's got a pretty good reputation with a lot of these kids.
I think if I remember correctly, the Florida Pro Golf Tour is, I think it's like the fourth or fifth largest mini tour
Yeah, it's
that
big.
there is. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, it's
it's
big.
pretty big.
And there's a lot of these mini tours that come through, and for him to stay as long as he has and establish it is saying something itself. So
Remember, Robert, the two largest groups of golf associations, the USGA and the Royal and Ancient. The third largest golf association in the world is the Florida State Golf Association.
Is that right?
Oh, yeah. Golf's pretty popular here. I don't know if you know that or not, but
Well, I
it's
see
a
it,
pretty big
yeah.
deal.
yeah, with the community we have growing, and with actually as bad as COVID has been for the world, is golf has boomed because it's something that people
It's
can
an
do
individual
outside.
sport. You can get away from each other.
Right, you can exactly.
You can get in your own golf cart. You can walk
stay
with your own
distance.
clubs.
Yep. So a lot of people have started playing golf during COVID and continue to play.
Yeah, people
now.
who didn't. It's been a boon for the game. Actually, one of the silver linings of COVID is the new people that have come to the game of golf, because it does offer you the ability to stay away from people and still have you still socialize and everything, but it's normal to be 6 feet apart.
Yeah.
Is that why? I mean, has it increased in the ratings on TV as well?
I would assume so. Yeah. I mean, it's just more people are getting involved in the game, so it has to have.
Well, the problem with ratings on TV is ratings on TV will not be. They're going to level out, but they're not going to be as high as they were 6-7 years ago.
Yeah, there's no Tiger Woods right
As
now.
long as there's no Tiger rating, and golf ratings have always been acceptable, or TV wouldn't put it on.
Right.
But it was astronomical.
Yeah.
Anytime Tiger put a tee in the ground,
And Tiger played not too long ago with his son Charlie again, and
which was
they took
fantastic
second place.
at the
Oh,
Ritz
yeah.
Carlton, down there in Orlando.
You know, I miss
The
watching
father,
Tiger
son.
play. Me growing up, that's all who I really watched, and missing him out there is huge for the game. It's extremely huge.
Is he coming back?
Yeah, he's going to be on and off, it sounds like. I don't know how much he's going to play. I don't know how competitive he's going to be, but I did see somewhere that he has better odds to win the Masters this year than Max Homa, who's playing on the tour and playing well right now.
Well,
And that
yeah.
tells you how good this guy is at the game of golf.
and he still has a whole another career he can go as soon 2 more years when he hits 50.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, I mean, you got golfers like we were talking about. Galen, you know, and I were talking about this the other day. When you think about the Champions Tour and the people that, like Gene Sauer, who was a journeyman golfer from Savannah, who nobody really knew unless you were from that area of Georgia, which I was. He was always 1/16th, 1/18th on the tour. He was always fighting to keep his card. He got the Champions Tour. He's won 7 times on the Champions
Oh, yeah.
Tour.
That's incredible.
He's made like $6-7 million on the Champions Tour. Hale Irwin, who was a U.S. Open winner. Hale Irwin was a very accomplished golfer on the PGA Tour. He's the winningest golfer on the Champions Tour. Bernhard Langer, who hadn't major wins, but he was still a European golfer that just came to America every so often. He may be the Tiger Woods of the Champions Tour.
Yeah, I mean, I remember Hale Irwin when I was coming through high school, middle school. I don't think there was a senior tournament that he played in that he
No.
wasn't in the top 5.
He won 9 senior tournaments in a row
It was
one year.
incredible. It was incredible.
You win 9 tournaments in a row. I mean,
Doesn't matter what level.
Sammy Snead won 11 in a row.
Yeah.
But I don't care who you are. You win 9 pro golf tournaments in a row. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Now, how many times have y'all had golfers, because it is a stepping stone tour? Is it a one and done usually for some of these golfers?
Not really. I mean, a lot of them take a couple years to get through if they're going to take the next step. Some are one and done, depending on how well they're playing. But a lot of the guys are repetitive guys, so we'll see them year after year after year, and you hope that you don't see them only because that means they took the next step.
And so now it is open to the public.
Yes.
Well, I mean, what's a grounds ticket for the day? What, probably $20, $15?
Well, actually, it's free admission, but
Oh,
we do
free.
sell free. But we do sell tickets to what we call our VIP tent area, which sits out and overlooks the 18th green, where it's only $25 a ticket, and that includes 2 drinks, lunch, and an appetizer. And you can sit out in a covered area and watch these guys come through the.
Can
18th
we get some shoulder time with Robert Colin if we're?
He
Nobody
might
wants
stop
that.
by that tent.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun to sit out there. Actually,
certainly
I've done it
is.
a couple times.
Well,
and
it's a lot of shade too.
Yes,
That's key.
Huge.
It's key because
yeah.
I've been to the Ocala Open and followed my good friend Marty. I followed him when he
Sure.
played the Ocala Open. And if you're walking out there on those grounds, that sun can get you.
Yeah, but you can walk around and then you come to sit at the VIP tent to watch the 18th hole, and you're watching guys drive the ball and then putt it.
Their second shots into the green, and
Yeah.
one year, and even last year there was a playoff on the last day, but I want to say it was 4 or 5 years ago, actually with Potter, maybe longer than that, maybe 6 years ago now. He went to a playoff, and I think he won on the 7th hole, and we
Yeah,
just
they
played
had-
the
yeah.
18th hole repetitively because that tent in the gallery was sitting there watching. He birdied, and I can't remember who he was going against, but it was 7-hole playoff, incredible.
And you see great golf.
Oh, no doubt.
I mean, it's quality. People say, well, yeah, but what kind of golf is a mini tour? These guys can play.
Yeah, a lot of people don't understand that they are literally a half a stroke or a stroke away from making the next step.
Right.
And by watching these kids, you don't know. I mean,
Some of these guys come back from the PGA Tour, and or they're
right, if they're kind of in the area and/or
Well, y'all had Graham playing it one year, didn't
Yeah,
you?
yeah.
Graham played it one year after he retired from the PGA Tour.
Yeah, we've had a lot of guys. Guy Burroughs, you remember that name?
Yeah.
He played in it after he was retired and done. So, yeah, we get a lot of guys that maybe just are in the area and want to play competitively, and
But
winning check
do
of
they
15
pay
grand.
to join the tournament, or how does that work?
Yeah, there's an entry fee. So depending on whether you're a regular on his tour or not, it's either like $650 or $700 to enter into the event, and then again, the winning check is $15,000. But if you make the cut, you're guaranteed to at least get your money back, which he cuts it to about a third of the field, which is generally.
So that's
around
why
50 players, so.
somebody who's a beginner or they're trying to get into it. That's why they can afford $650 or $700.
Yeah, a lot of guys will get sponsored, so they'll help pay that entry fee for them. And then you'll get some amateur guys that are trying to make it through too, just to get that competitive nature in their game.
Yeah, I think we when I did the Pro-Am one time, that the guy was saying that he sleeps in his car a lot.
Yeah, traveling. It's
that
true.
happened. I have buddies of mine that play on some of the smaller tours, and they'll team 2 or 3 of them will get together.
Yeah.
And like spring break, they'll rent a hotel room, get the rollaway in there.
But
It's like minor league baseball.
Yeah,
you know, all you're
exactly.
doing is
But it
living in
speaks
the
to the edge, the lengths that these people go to
Oh,
to become the best, to become professional.
Yeah.
And this is that beginning step.
And
right?
it's a grind for a lot of these guys. I mean, a lot of them don't have it to where they just snap a finger and they're on the PGA Tour. They got to grind to get there.
Very
and
few
it's part of
people
it.
are Phil Mickelson and Tiger Woods.
Exactly right. Very few. Very, very few.
They people pay. A lot of guys that are on tour now have paid their dues
Yes.
through the Florida mini tours or the Southeast mini tours or the Arizona, California mini tours, and then
Everywhere.
come up because then they knew there was the NGA tour for the longest
Yep.
time. That was a national tour. Then you got to come up and
They'll
on the
play
Corn Ferry,
internationally. They'll play-
international.
right.
You can go play in Australia. You can go play in the Mid East.
Yep.
You can go play in Japan on the Asian tour. South Africa has a tour.
A lot of these guys, that's as far as they'll go, is playing in those kind of tours because they just can't quite make it to the PGA Tour, which is again the end result. But you can still make a living playing on these mini tours every year.
You really can. I tell you, I talked to a guy one time that was a mini tour guy, and I go, why don't you try to make the step up? He goes, I've tried numerous times to make the step up. He goes, but on these tours, I have 2 children, I have a wife. I'm averaging, because he played on 3 different tours all at the same time.
Yeah.
That's what they do. He said, I make between $135,000 and $155,000 a year,
Yeah.
which is as good as a CEO would make at a bank or something like that, a small bank or something. And I get to do what I love while making that kind of money.
Yeah.
How can you ask for more? And he lived in Motel 6s and Super 8s, and
Yeah, if you're traveling all over the world, it's a fun game. But
So if somebody wants to sit in the VIP tent, what would they have to do? How would they?
they
find
can just
out
come
about
to Candler Hills, the pro shop there. It's $25 a ticket, or you could buy 3 tickets, which would be one for each day for $65. And again, you get lunch, 2 drinks, and an appetizer. It's so well worth it, and you get to watch them play there.
it?
on
And the drinks,
18th
you
green.
get that. That's all day as long as you're sitting there.
Yeah,
right?
absolutely.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
mean,
you get 2 is included in that package, but yeah, we have a bartender and everything out there
Yeah.
for you the whole day.
And people don't realize that. They go, well, Candler Hills, I play Candler Hills. It can't be that hard.
Ooh,
Setup is everything.
everything.
Now, do you guys do the setup, or does he come in with his tour guys and they do the setup?
Yes, they do. So Rick will come in. He generally comes in like the Saturday or Sunday before the week of the event, and they'll start marking the course and setting it up for the way they want it set up each day, marking pins and so forth. But yeah, they'll make it to where it's tough. It's a grind to shoot those good scores.
They shrink the fairways at all, or they leave
Not
the fairways?
so much. No, Andy pretty much keeps the setup the same. He might speed up the greens just a little bit, but not much more than what we do on a regular basis.
But there's places
But-
you can tuck pins on that golf course.
That will happen. We'll put pins all over in difficult spots. Tees will go back a little bit depending on the day and so forth. So,
What does it play from championship?
It can go back to about 75, 7,600. Now, he never
Wow.
really tips it out that far. He'll play
That's-
it
that's
about
a long course.
Oh, that's extremely long. I mean, with that par 5, number 4, 669 yards, he actually moves it up a tee, so he doesn't play it all the way back during that week. But yeah, it can tip out about 7,500, and he usually probably plays it around 72.
There was a time that hole 4 at Candler was the longest in the state of
It
Florida.
is now again, yeah. With the Dina shutting down, it
with
now
the
became over.
with the 747 hole shutting
Yeah,
down.
yeah, exactly. Right now we're back on that top frame, but yeah, 669
It's
yards
pretty
at
neat
any
to
level.
play. I mean, you just want
Oh,
to go out
yeah.
and play. Say you played the biggest hole in Florida or longest hole. In
Let me
Florida.
tell you,
That's a
I
pretty cool
play
thing.
it from the tees I'm supposed to play it.
Yeah.
And it's like 500 and
550
yeah,
something.
555 or 550, and it's ridiculous. I mean,
It's up-
it's just ridiculous.
Straight into the wind
Yeah,
too.
so depending on
Always.
the day, it's
Yeah.
Always in the wind.
and it actually runs a little uphill on
Yeah.
the
A
second.
little uphill.
You know, little second and third shot.
A little uphill.
If you really get it into the wind, play it all the way back up that hill, it probably plays closer to 780
Easy.
yards.
Easy.
Yeah, it's incredible.
Easy.
And if you play like me, you're at least 2,000 or 3,000 yards.
It's difficult, and of course it's lined with bunkers on both sides, so why not? You know.
Yeah, it's a challenging hole.
certainly is.
We'll leave it at that. Now, I was driving through the other day into the behind the gate, and I was impressed by the next golf course I seen. I can't recall the name of it.
Which side of the
We have
road?
two. So
It was on the left-hand side of the road as I was driving down. Was it 90th or 94th?
99 down the
94th.
middle.
99. Yeah, I went down 99 and got to
94th,
94th,
Okay,
and
so
I took
you're
a
looking
left
at
on 94th.
Tortoise and the Hare.
That's the original.
Okay.
Yeah, there's two in there that one's called the Lynx, one's called the Tortoise and the Hare, and those are both newly renovated. So they're kind of the newer of the three now.
I was unaware until Robert, about a year ago, told me. I thought the only golf course that on top of the world was Candler Hills.
Yeah, and that's what a lot
Because
of
the
people think.
public is open. But the fact that there's two championship courses behind the gate
And they're just as busy as Candler. Hill.
really talks to all the opportunities that residents of on top of the world really have
Yeah.
to take advantage of the game of golf.
Yeah, it's a great golfing community. If that's somewhere where you'd want to retire and play some golf, that's the spot to be because you do have three golf courses.
Dave
two of them
Falcone.
strictly. He's out there. I know Dave very well. Yep, he's enjoying that retired
He
golf
loves,
life.
the man taught in Ocala, lived in Ocala, had a nice house in Ocala and everything, moved on top of the world. I go, why would you sell your house and move on top of the world? He goes, golf courses.
Yep. He and his wife play in every tournament that we have.
Oh, yeah.
too. They love it.
Yeah, I play with Dave. We play golf with Dave every Friday at a Friday game at Muni. But
Yeah.
incredible golf course. Now they just got
He's
the
our
two.
club champion too at Candler.
Stop it.
He is.
Who's that?
Dave Falcone.
Stop
He won
it.
it this year. I can't remember 2 or 3 under, so he'll be trying to retain that title next
That's
year.
what's been. That's why he's been walking around with a big head. That's what I knew it was something. But the tortoise and the hare, I guess, was the one I saw.
Yes.
But it looked fantastic.
Yeah, you may have seen either one if you kept driving through there, but they're
if
both.
he was going up on the left, it would
Yeah, it
have
was
been
probably
the
the
Lynx.
Lynx. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
That's
but
our
they're
original
both
one.
beautiful golf courses. They're kind of carved out through the trees and so forth. They remind me of like a real high or up north
Right.
private course going through those trees back in the day. But they're gorgeous. They're a little bit more senior friendly, a little bit shorter, so you can't tip it out at 7,500.
And your
but-
practice facilities are amazing too.
Oh yeah, we actually have some at those two courses. One of them's covered,
Really?
so sun, rain, the elements.
You
Yeah,
can
it's
still
covered.
hit balls.
You still hit balls. Yeah, Candler Hills practice facility is fantastic.
Candler Hills
Huge.
practice facilities.
Probably the best in Marion.
It may be the best north of Tampa.
Yeah, I mean it's beautiful.
I mean, there's a great practice facility that's open to the public practice facility right next to the horse track in Tampa that is amazing. But it's only a practice facility. It's
Yeah,
nothing else
nothing
but a
goes-
practice facility. And it's really, because that's all they do, it's really top notch.
Yeah.
But, in Florida, the bad thing about Florida is while we love the game of golf, some of the best practice facilities in Florida are called Top Golf.
Yeah, it's true.
I mean,
You can have a lot of fun. Top
you have
golf.
a lot of fun. But the practice facilities at Candler are amazing and affordable, and so are lessons. The lessons you guys offer, the number of pros you have.
Yeah.
It's not just you.
No, there's
There-
5 of us.
There's 5 different pros, and the thing about different pros is you can find a pro that works with you, because I know how to play the game of golf.
Yeah.
I've been playing golf for a very long time. I don't want somebody to mess with my swing. I want somebody to hone my swing.
Yeah, you're right.
My swing is my swing. It is what it is. I'm a fat guy that does the best he can do. But I need help getting, with alignment and stuff like that. So I don't want to go to a technical golf pro
Yeah.
that's going to say, no, you got to move your foot here. You got to take the club back this way.
And that's one of the luxuries of having 5 pros. because
Exactly.
You have different philosophies and different styles of teaching. So
And you
we even
allow-
have an LPGA pro too.
And you allow your pros to work autonomously.
Oh yeah, no doubt.
You don't give the edict that you got to be this type of pro or
No.
this type of pro.
No, it's like I said, philosophy is everything, and everybody teaches a little bit different, and I agree with that. So
And it's really as far as lessons go,
Oh yeah.
lessons aren't as expensive as people think they are.
No. Our average is probably $50 per half hour. We do packages for like $130 for 3 half-hour lessons, so it's affordable. We do Get Golf Ready, which is $99 for straight beginner golfers.
What do they do
5
during those
one-hour
lessons?
sessions. It depends. So it depends on what the student needs. We might start with putting. We might work to driver. So it really just depends on what they want and what they're looking to work on.
Mm-hmm.
The player goes in and says, hey, I can get from tee to green, I'm pretty good. Once I get on the green, I couldn't tell you about whether the grass is bent towards me, bent away from me, whether there's a ridge, what the light green grass means to the dark green grass. Putting is a mystery to me.
Yeah.
Some people have to have that.
So March 29th is when the Ocala Open starts.
March 29th is the Pro-Am,
And
and
are you-
Tuesday, and then Wednesday.
You're looking for people for the Pro-Am still, or?
Yes, we have 22 teams right now. We can max it about 32, and you can sponsor at any level, anywhere from $250 up to $25,000. You
Wow.
just have to go to ocalaopen.com to get all that information.
Okay, and you'll learn more about where you can stay for the VIP seating.
Exactly.
Everything.
All that information is
Yeah.
on the website.
Okay.
Pretty good. Now, if you had a celebrity pro-am,
Now
then
we're
we
ready.
could get
He's got celebrities coming
then we
there
could get Dan
very
Martone
soon.
involved.
Yeah, he's got celebrities coming there very soon, but I don't think he's allowed to talk about it. yet.
Yeah, we do have some.
Something's coming soon.
Well, in 2 weeks, I'll be here back on, and they'll be able to talk about it then, because one of them is going to be on there.
Big name.
Yeah,
Big name.
big name.
Well, I like that. I like that. By the way, not Tom Schmitz. They have not contacted my people. They have not.
No, but one of the people in that group will be here in 2 weeks. So.
Oh, well, very good. So I'll get to meet a big person. So you're bringing in Terry Bollea, huh?
No, but
You know who Terry Bollea is?
no, I don't.
That's Hulk Hogan.
Okay. Oh, yeah. I've seen him. I've
That's
seen
a
him down
really
in
big. That's a
Reddington
really
Beach
big
area.
name. That's a really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think I'd want to see him swing a golf club.
I don't know if you could.
I don't know if he could either. Give everybody one more time the information about how they can, if they want to sponsor this event, if they want to come to this
Best
event.
way to get the information, ocalaopen.com. There'll be phone numbers. There'll be information for VIP tickets, sponsorships. That's where you're going to get everything.
Everything.
Ocalaopen.com.
You can do sponsorships. You can get VIP tickets.
You can
That
even meet
VIP
Matt,
sound-
so.
that
Yep,
VIP
my number's on there.
That VIP sounds pretty good.
Yeah, it's well worth it.
2 drinks and food and 3 days for
For
$65.
$25, and you
3
get to
days
sit.
for 65.
Crazy.
Really, that's what I'm pushing.
Yeah.
3 days for 65.
Yep.
Get the whole package.
And it helps raise money for the charities.
Thanks, guys, for coming
Thank
in.
you. Thanks, Tom.
Appreciate you.
Talk to you in 2 weeks, Robert.
Yep.
We'll be right back after this timeout. 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, WOCA, The Source.
Broadcasting from the Ocala International Airport, this is WOCA AM, W242CA FM, Ocala, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.
Today in Ag News, a on their land.